Temporal changes in a corpus luteal cysts of menstruation, seen in a 46-year-old multipara who presented with a long-standing history of lower abdominal pain. She had multiple scans which consistently showed ovarian cysts. A repeat transvaginal scan showed a thin-wall unilocular cyst with anechoic content in the right ovary and another thick-wall unilocular cyst with fishnet pattern in the left ovary. Follow-up scans over a period of 8 weeks show no change in the size of the cyst in the right ovary, but there was regression of the cyst in the left ovary. So this is the initial TVS on 9th of January 2025. Look at this fishnet pattern of hemorrhagic cyst here with free fluid in the pituitary cavity consistent with ovulation. This is the thin wall cysts in the right ovary with anechoic content, and this is the fishnet pattern. Still image of this. 34 days after, look at still the free fluid in the pituitary cavity. Look at the axial position of the uterus, not the fimbria here, and not the diminution in size of the hemorrhagic cyst here with crenated appearance. So 34 days after, there was no change in the size of the cyst in the right side, suggesting that this is likely to be a serous adenoma. Here, one can see significant diminution in size with created appearance. Also note the change in the contents between the one that was done 34 days earlier. At times, it could be mistaken for a solid lesion. And look at the good blood flow to the corpus luteum. 20th of February, same size of this cyst. So our impression here is a serous adenoma. Here, not the significant diminution in size and then poor blood supply as the corpus luteum regresses. Remember, the regression is triggered by prostaglandin F2 alpha, primarily from the uterus. So on 6th of March, which is today, not the left ovary, not even a trace of the remnant of the hemorrhagic cysts. What we can see here is a dominant follicle that measured about 17 millimeters. So now let's look at this temporal change in this hemorrhagic cyst. 9 January, the typical fishnet pattern of hemorrhagic cyst. 34 days after, look at the change in size and the change in the contents. Not this smooth wall, and not the crenated wall here, and not what appears like a solid content. There are changes in the content of blood with a good blood flow here. But look at the diminution in size here, and also the poor blood flow as the corpus luteum regresses. We expected the patient to come back 1 week after this, but she couldn't make it, and I came back 2 weeks after, and this is what we found. No trace at all of the hemorrhagic cyst. What you can see here is a dominant follicle that measures about 17 millimeters. So this cyst regressed completely between 6 and 8 weeks when these patients came for follow-up. So it was within the period of 6 to 8 weeks where one expects hemorrhagic cyst to resolve. Just remember that hemorrhagic cyst is always unilocular cyst and resolves over a period of 6 to 8 weeks. When in doubt, always follow up. As in this case, the cyst in the right ovary persisted, while that in the left ovary regressed. So while the former is likely to be a serous adenoma, the latter is a hemorrhagic cyst. Thank you very much for listening.